guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Brianna, and in today's video I thought I'd do a little spring semester preparation video at Princeton University and just as a college student in general. So without further ado, let's get into it. I have a lot of preparing to do for this spring semester. In case you're new here, I am a current sophomore at Princeton University on the pre-med track studying ecology and evolutionary biology. I have about a week before I go back. So basically I'm just gonna go through all of the normal routine habits that I have to prepare for a new semester. I do the same thing for the fall semester as well. I have developed lots of habits that I feel like have set me up for success, so hopefully they give you guys some inspiration. But a lot of them involve using my laptop, my iPad, and my agenda book. So starting off, we're going to do the easiest one. This is my planner for the 2025-2026 school year, and I literally just picked it up from Target, I'm pretty sure. It's just a cute little purple color. I love planners that have the daily blocks, so you can kind of just list whatever you have to get done for each day. I love being able to cross that out as I go. As you can see, the last time I opened up this planner was literally at the beginning of December, which is insane. And I like to keep a little paperclip here to keep track of what day I'm on. But it is currently January 18th. So the first thing we're going to do is take the paperclip out and flip to the right day so that we are completely ready for the first day of the spring semester. And I flipped right to it, actually. I'm going to be going back to Princeton on the 26th of January. So right here, that is where I'm going to put in my clip. Now I can easily flip to it whenever I want to start writing down my to-do list again. That is done. First thing checked off of our planning list. This is also my school bag. It's just this bag from Verano Hill, and it's really nice. I just like to keep literally everything in here. My bag though is a bit of a mess, and I wasn't anticipating having to reorganize it, but I fear that I might have to. So we have a folder in here, which I think I'm gonna also empty out because we need this folder. This is literally my handy dandy folder. I just use it for every single semester basically. We're just gonna take all this out and find a better place for it. If you have any suggestions on how I should keep everything, because I actually like to keep my stuff just in case. I don't know. It's just a thing I've always done. So let me know if you have any suggestions in the comments. But the folder is brand new once again. But yeah, that is what everything looks like so far. I have not opened up my iPad in months, probably 2 months, which is insane, because I used to use this every single day throughout the semester. Here's what it looks like. The quote of the day is, "What are you waiting for?" which is so inspirational. However, the app of interest is GoodNotes, and I want to show you guys how I set up all of my notes for note taking. These are all of my folders that I have so far. It just has a bunch of folders. So we go into sophomore year, and I have a folder for every single class, as you can see here. So what I do is I just make a new folder and I'll title it the title of my class. So for this one, for example, we'll make it the same color as my other chemistry class from last semester. And we're going to call it Chem 304 because that's the chemistry class that I'm taking. Hopefully you can see what it looks like now. I just basically added this row of folders, one for each of my classes. I'm only taking 4 classes this semester. And then another thing that I do, obviously I have a notebook for whatever I need within the folder. This is just an example for all of the notebooks that I had for my organic chemistry course last semester. And I usually have a lecture notebook, a textbook notebook. I think I'm going to start off by putting in just singular lecture notebook for every single one of these folders, and then I'll add notebooks as I see needed. So to do that, we're going to go inside of a folder. I just clicked inside of one. Then we're going to go to new. We're going to go to notebook. And I usually like to customize my covers just based on the covers that GoodNotes already has here. I think for lectures, what I want to do is a solid color. And this one I'm going to make, we'll do that. And we're going to name this one Chem Lecture so that I know. And then hit create. And we're going to repeat that for all the 3 other classes. So now we have all of the added folders and their notebooks for sophomore year, which is perfect. And I just like to put it right in the back. That is what it looks like out there. Absolutely beautiful, stunning. I want to show you guys, look at the snowman. I made that snowman earlier today. He's so sad though because the eyes and the mouth literally fell out. I have this schedule up here, and this is just mainly my schedule that I'm gonna have for this semester, which might look a little bit busy, but honestly it's not as bad as it was for my fall schedule. That was my fall schedule, and then it changes to this. So I feel like it's not as bad, especially since I have Fridays off, no classes at all. This is just like the Princeton scheduling app that you can use, but I actually like to look at my schedule on Google Calendar. I think that is the best way to do it in my opinion. So I already plotted out my classes and stuff, and I like to personally keep all of my classes this purple color because usually once I get used to my schedule I don't really have to keep looking back at it. And then I keep everything else either in a light blue color, like either this type of peacock blue or a red color. Next week I start everything, which is actually insane, but I thought why not go ahead and kind of like tell you guys a little bit about my schedule. That's just basically how I input it, and if you're wondering how to do that, you literally just go into one of them, put the times and everything. Yeah. Making a calendar on my laptop is something that I will always do as part of a preparation for the next upcoming semester. I also really like how I can access it on my phone as well. The 4 classes are Organic Chemistry 2, Art 100, which is like Introduction to Art, and I'm mainly doing it to fulfill a distribution requirement or like a general education requirement. Astronomy 203, which is like all about the universe. Finally, I have EEB 314. Which is basically vertebrae anatomy and physiology. On Mondays, I have an Art 100 lecture to begin the day from about 9:30 to 10:30, and then I go right to my organic chemistry lecture from 10:40 to 12. No breaks. I literally cannot even eat lunch, which I hated to have to do to myself, but luckily that's like the only day that's gonna happen. And then right after the chem lecture I have art precept, and if you don't know what precepts are, basically they're like a smaller class out of the huge lecture classes at Princeton where you get to meet with your TA and answer any questions about lecture material or problem sets and stuff like that. And at 1:20 I have EEB 314 labs. I've heard good things about the labs, so I'm kind of excited for that. My day ends at 4:10 on Mondays. And then on Tuesdays I start a little bit later, which is kind of nice. I start at 10:40 a.m. until 12 when I have my EEB 314 lecture, and then I have a break for lunch, yes, and then I have my organic chemistry precept from 1:20 to 2:40. Right after that I have an astronomy lecture, and that actually ends at 4:15, so again I'm done at 4:15. This semester I am doing a shift at the local hospital, which is really cool as someone on the pre-med track. Kind of a long day on Tuesdays, but I really wanted to try out the volunteering there and I'm excited. Then Wednesday we have art lecture again. I think that lecture is both Mondays and Wednesdays, so 9:30 to 10:30. Then we have chem lecture right after, and then chem lab after a break for lunch from 1:30 to 4:20. Thursday is pretty easy. Last day of the week of classes for me, thank goodness, and it's only 2 classes. So I have EEB 314 lecture from 10:40 to 12. Then I have a quite substantial break until about 3 until 4:15 when I have my astronomy lecture. Then I get to catch up on work, perhaps go home for the weekend. I don't really know. I am working on a lot of research though, so hopefully on Fridays I'll be able to devote a lot of time to that and also just catch up on work for other classes as well and get ahead of things. So that is a rundown of my schedule. This background is like so much better than the other background that I had. Oh, insane. Guys, you're gonna see this background in a lot more videos. So that was basically everything that I do digitally to prepare for the upcoming semester. I will say though, I have not received any like Canvas notifications about my new classes being uploaded on Canvas or anything, so I cannot download my syllabi yet. Usually I also do download the syllabus and make a note on my calendar of like any major test days for final exams or even midterms and other exams. But the next thing I want to do, which probably not a lot of people have to do, I want to give my fish tank right here a nice clean before I go back to college. Usually my dad actually is nice enough to take care of my fish and just feed them while I'm gone, but currently I do have a 10-gallon tank, as you can see here in my hometown room, which I absolutely love. They are so adorable, and you guys probably see in my other vlogs how much I adore my fish. That's what they look like. They are just so cute. You can see them. I have like 2 mollies, 3 guppies, and currently I think I have 3 platies. We're going to go ahead and do that just as preparation to leave the tank for quite some time. I'm basically just going to start by scraping the glass. This is what it looks like. As you can see, it is so good. To be honest, I was not the best at getting into a workout routine during the fall semester. It was super stressful to even like find time to work out. It definitely wasn't consistent though, so that's what I want to do for this upcoming semester. Find a consistent workout routine, and I actually have been doing that throughout winter break as much as possible, which is amazing. So I'm going to bring you guys along with me for my workout routine. Here I am about to work out right by my treadmill currently. Basically, okay, so tonight I actually have to do a really quick workout because I didn't realize that my family and I were going to go out to dinner so early. I always use my AirPods when I run on the treadmill, and I basically start all my workouts by running like 1 to 2 miles on the treadmill. You're just gonna have to deal with the little bun situation that I have going on here. This is just the only hairstyle that works for me. Here are the shoes, my running shoes that I use, New Balance. Here's the fit. I usually keep like a 7 to 8 minute pace for each mile, so it doesn't take me too long to run. I finished. Sweating so much. I basically went 7.5 miles per hour the whole time. Done with cardio, let's move on to abs. For abs, I always use 10 pounds. Also just set a 1-minute timer for every single exercise that I do.
What you doing? You make me crazy like kaleidoscope. Blurring my vision, lead me on with invisible. Oh, you give me just enough to hold out hope, but I keep playing, baby. Here we go. You make me crazy like kaleidoscope. Blurring my vision, lead me on with invisible. Oh, you got me gliding on it down.
Did it. So usually I repeat that circuit, the ab circuit, twice, and then on top of that, sometimes I like to either do arms or legs. Yeah, that is basically what it is. Yeah guys, that was basically a little preparation for the spring semester video with me. Thank you for coming along, and I hope that I inspired you to also start getting prepared for your next upcoming semester if it's coming up soon. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you enjoy these types of like organization tips videos, and I'll definitely make sure to make more of them. But thank you so much for watching. I basically just went out to dinner actually. This is like a cashmere sweater from Quince. Love it so much. But thanks for watching. See you all in the next video. Bye.